two of my boys. My third one's at work right now. This is James right here. He's doing the challenge. This is Caden. He's never had a issue with being overweight, but he definitely does keto, and he works out with me. Anyway, so I am currently on day 7 or 8. Day 8. I've made it through a week. I think I'm down 15 pounds. I haven't done too much fasting yet. I've just kind of been trying to get my own routine together so that I can pull off all this weight gain in this month. I'm going to try different things, but I'm going to work out too. But what I want to start out with is talking about how I set it up for everybody. It's in there. It's the top pinned post in the group, and a lot of people are like either not reading through it, or they're just not seeing. They're not clicking to see the whole entire post to get down into the what I want everyone to do when they start. So obviously, people are starting every day with this. It's not. It wasn't just day one through. Which I'm happy that a lot of people are going to do this. So you can start at any time, but when you do start, I've been doing this for over 3 years, so I've tried it so many different ways. I understand everything. I want to teach you guys why I have you do it this way. Within this challenge, I want everybody to learn how to use ketosis to lose weight, but also use fasting. And that's going to be anywhere from daily intermediate fasting and all the way up to just fasting for days. And even if you don't do it through this challenge, I want you to try it and then continue on after Christmas and start practicing it. The reason I have you start this way is because when you are coming off of carbs and you want to get into ketosis and you want to cut calories way down, lose weight quick, and you want to use fasting. You want to start out by eating your maintenance calorie range and go strictly 0 carb. That way you'll skip most of the keto flu things that people talk about. You'll have a lot more energy. You won't crave everything. And the biggest thing that I have people do it for is because especially if you go in and out of keto when you're learning in the beginning, every time you go out of keto and you get back into keto, you have a chance of losing muscle in the first couple of days. And if you're doing that all the time, you're going to be losing muscle every time that happens. So if you eat to your calorie range and you eat no carbs, you're going to get into ketosis really fast, and it'll be really easy for you. And that way you don't need to learn how to make all the recipes right away. You just snack on meat, cheese, eggs. You can use, when you're cooking, you can use oils and butter. And it's pretty easy to go 0 carb for a couple days anyway. After you're in keto with the strips, so I know everybody's been buying them and using them. This is like the cheapest ones you can get at Walmart. Is where I get them. So, and I've been noticing a lot of people asking the questions about the colors and stuff like that. So if you go online, you read about these, a lot of people will have their opinions on them, trying to say that when you're keto adapted, they won't work anymore. I've been doing this for over 3 years. Every person that's ever came to me and said that they can't make these things turn color anymore, I've told them what to eat for a couple days, and they go right back into a dark color. So I believe they work 100%. I don't think when you're adapted that they're not going to work anymore. I think that people just get too high in carbs. There's carbs everywhere. The hardest part about everything you're going to do here is just learning how to eliminate carbs and get understand beyond the actual label where it says the carb amount and the calories, and learning sugar alcohols and all that. They're not accurate. The ingredients is probably the thing that you want to look at on some things. Staying under 20 carbs a day throughout your diet is really hard to do. What am I looking at?
The comment.
Who is it? Jess a Star? Anyway, so I believe they work. When you're fasting, I don't care who you are, they're gonna get up to like the darkest color, especially if you're long fasting. Pretty much the whole 7 days, or after the first couple days, I got into these darker colors. I don't know if you can see it, the light's probably not good in here, but those two darker colors, I've been pretty much there. I'm not long fasting yet, but I've done 48 already in this week. I've done a 24, and will you quit touching me, Gaten, because you break my concentration here. So, he's telling me that there's comments coming up. I'm not going to be able to see all of them. I'll probably look back at them, or maybe have you guys just ask me questions later. But anyway, so, yes, especially if you've never done this before, you're going to get into these colors, like right away. If you follow the zero carb, you'll probably be in on the second day, the third day. And as far as the shades of them, as long as you're a pink color, I mean, you should be into ketosis. The darker colors, you know, if you're not drinking a ton of water, you'll probably stay darker. If you drink a ton of water, you might lighten up a little bit. But I would say you want to like always shoot for like at least this, you know, the one that's obvious. The first one is no trace. The next one after that is the one that's hard to tell. I mean, if you're somewhere up into an actual pink color, then you know you're in ketosis. So, but anyway, you can buy these anywhere. You can get them online. Until you start learning your body and when you're in ketosis and when you're not, these will help you figure that out. Where did Jay go? Go get him. So, getting back to that. So what I want, there's a lot of people in here right now watching me that are probably already beyond the point of getting in ketosis, and now you're getting more into the routine. But anybody new that hasn't done it yet or is just starting, I've had a few people tell me they're having a hard time fasting and they're on day one. I don't want anyone to fast on day one. I want you guys, unless you're already in ketosis, I want you to definitely get into ketosis first. You don't even have to cut the calories, like I said, just keep them up there at maintenance. And then once you are on day 3 and day 4, I have instructions throughout the first week, and then I'm going to change up some things after that. Is he coming in here? Okay. So, but please, everybody, read my pinned post, because it's like the perfect plan. Everything I've ever learned, and if I'm using keto and fasting, it's like it's so easy for anybody to do it that way. By the 3rd or 4th day is when you want to start cutting calories, and there's so many ways of doing it. You can use a tracker on your phone and track everything you're doing. You can just start using intermediate fasting right away, and you probably won't even have to track any calories because you're not going to be eating that many meals. But the goal is in this first week to get to a minimum of 16 hours a day when you are not eating, and 8 hours a day is going to be your eating window. Hang on a second. He keeps coming to the door. Not Rocky, though.
Okay, come on.
So,
Rocky,
I feel bad that I'm not looking at anybody's questions in here, but so that means what you're trying to do is find, everybody's going to go to bed at different times, they're going to wake up at different times. The best way to do it is to get into your fast while you're sleeping, so that you wake up and you're not hungry, because you don't really want to be eating breakfast, or especially in the morning, you don't want to eat anything. So if you have your dinner around 6 or 7 o'clock at night, try not to snack after that. Start your timer, or just pay attention to when you stop eating. You go to sleep later, you wake up, you're already in a fast, and your 16 hours is going to be up at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and you can start eating if you want. So you get like 10 to 6, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., or 11 to 7, or 9 to 5. You can eat 3 meals in that time. You can eat 2 meals. You can keep shortening that. There's people in here that already know long fasting and 1 meal a day. So I kind of want everybody after the first week to push toward getting to 1 meal a day. And in that 1 meal, you don't have to track anything as long as you're eating foods that fit into the keto diet. And it won't matter how big the meal is because you're only going to have 1 meal. So I don't think anybody in here is going to overeat that. But after the first week, you're going to just want to start really paying attention to your results. Because for me, what I teach and everything that worked for me when I initially lost all my weight was the speed of everything. And when I lost it, this was over 3 years ago, and I did not know about fasting. I started learning about intermittent fasting, but I did not know about long fasting. So my goal was just to go as fast as I could, get my weight off. I did a lot of stuff. I stayed in keto the whole time. I don't know how I kept them sticks purple every time I looked at them. And I lost 150 pounds in 5 months. And the most I really did was maybe a day or two of a long fast. I did intermediate fasting. But I always kind of got worried about going too low in calorie because I didn't know what I know now. The thing is when your body's in ketosis, it doesn't matter if you go zero, you're fasting, or you eat up to your calorie range. It's really up to you what you want to do. And if you want to lose weight extremely fast, then you definitely want to learn how to fast and get into the longer fast and start doing 48, 72s. I've done fasts up to 10 days now. And there's people that have fasted for 30 days, 40 days. There's somebody, there's people that have gone a year that have a lot of weight to lose. And when you're fasting, your body is being fed. So all your body fat is basically your calories every day. And if you're working out and you're more active and your body requires more calories, it just pulls in more, and the faster you lose your weight. When I tell people about fasting and they say, how do you do that? You'd be starving, you'd be so hungry. The longer you go without food, the more you're not hungry. For me, it's like when I start intermediate fasting, or when I do that, I always have to make sure that I do it late at night for me, because I'll go the whole entire day and I won't be hungry at all. I'll have a coffee, I'll have my waters and stuff. I'll be at work. I don't want anything because I'm in a fast and my body fat's burning for my energy. And I know that when I eat, if my meal isn't huge, that's going to instantly spark my appetite. So after I eat dinner, about an hour later, now I'm really hungry because now I'm out of that fast, and it's going to take probably 6 hours or so before my body can use up what I ate and then get back into a fast, and that's when I'm sleeping. So for me, I have to make my dinner really late. So I pretty much eat at like 10 o'clock at night, and I eat all my food then, and then I watch TV, whatever I do. I go to bed, I wake up, and I'm not hungry at all. And then I just go all day long, or if I'm long fasting, I just keep going. And anybody that tries to fast without being in ketosis, it's really hard to do. Like, you're going to be really, really hungry. You're not going to have any energy. Your body's trying to empty out on everything, and that's the time that you're losing muscle too. So that's why I always recommend you get into solid ketosis before you start doing the fasting, and then it's much easier. So this, for a lot of you, this first week is almost over. So I hope everybody's doing good. I think they are. I'm seeing all the keto sticks showing color, and everybody's throwing out there some weight loss and stuff. You do get quite a bit in the first week, because going into ketosis, you're going to drop down in body water, and then you'll start burning fat. And the second week, you won't see as much, but everybody's going to be different because everybody's starting out at a different weight, different height, body fat percent, and it's going to be different for everybody. But the way I want to see everybody trying and pushing themselves is to see an overall percentage. And if somebody's 200 pounds overweight, they're going to lose quite a bit in 30 days. If somebody's 20 pounds overweight, it's going to be really hard for them to do that. And even if both of them didn't eat nothing for 30 days, the person that's got all that fat to lose is going to lose 5 times. But if you were to look at the overall percentage of weight lost for each person, it's going to be a similar number if everybody's working the same speed. And what are you doing? So, when you are fasting, I haven't even talked about this yet, but I'm going to put a file out to explain, like a perfect recipe for it. But I do this really simple. So when you don't really have to do this unless if anybody like during the daily fasting, the 16 hours, if you're feeling lightheaded or weak or anything like that, I guess you could do it then. I don't ever experience that, but I'm sure some people do. But when you're longer fasting, when you're getting beyond the 24 hours and you keep going, that's when you need to make sure that you're adding this stuff to your water. And the 2 best things to have is like the Himalayan pink salt, and then this is just the Walmart brand of a no salt, which is potassium chloride. And just Google this or look at any store, you're going to find some version of a potassium no salt. And this is pretty much, you can buy this. I buy this at the dollar store. And if you don't have it, you can just use regular sea salt, but don't use table salt. Table salt is just gonna make you retain tons of water. It's not good for you at all. So at least sea salt or pink salt, and then your potassium salt. And what I do is I just basically take a teaspoon of both into a liter of water. And if it's a smaller jug, I'll do like a half a teaspoon of each. And there's no daily max or minimum. It's all about how much water you drink. The point of it is, if you're drinking tons of water and you are not getting in your salts and you're not eating, you're just going to flush all your electrolytes out of your body. So putting that in the water is going to keep it balanced for you. Now, if you're not drinking a lot of water, then you're not flushing it out of you, so you don't have to do it. If you're dry fasting and you're not drinking anything, you don't need anything because it stays in your body. So it's basically, people ask, do I have to drink tons of water? You just drink when you're thirsty. If you're not thirsty, don't drink anything. If you're extra thirsty, drink more. But make sure that you're doing about a teaspoon of each per liter of water. Powerade Zero. I don't know if I can go back and look at any of these questions. I'm going to maybe take a peek quick and see if there's something I should touch on before I go to the next part. Let's see. So Natalie is going to do keto starting Monday, pregnant. Well, good job, because you can definitely do that. You can even fast. What are we drinking? This is just a sugar-free energy drink with 0 calories, 0 carbs in it. I think this one has stevia in it, which is the next thing I do want to talk about. So, if you need your coffee sweet or anything when you get going into the keto routine, the best thing to get is a liquid stevia. This right here will not affect your ketosis at all, and you just put a couple drops in really anything. You can cook with it, you can put it in your coffee. This is much better than the packets that you find that are in a powder form. Everybody will be really different when it comes to the basic sugar substitutes that are in like Diet Pop and Powerade, diet energy drinks, all the what are they, Jay? The aspartame, the sucralose. Those are supposed to all be 0. Most people don't have any effect for keto with those. There's other things to worry about with fake sugars, but most of them don't really do anything except for they trigger your brain to want to eat something sweet, and even stevia itself would do that. So it's not like you're trying to make everything sweet. You don't really want to eat sweet stuff or drink sweet stuff when you're doing this to eliminate the cravings for it, but The best thing to have is stevia, because this is an all-natural, actual, real sugar that has no insulin response, and you can buy this pretty much anywhere. So that's that. I have some other things I'll show you when I get to them. Let me see if there was some more questions here. What would you recommend for vegetarian to eat for keto? So there's a lot of things. I've experienced every diet I could think of, except for the ones that are just nonsense diets. But I've tried every one, so I've done a version of keto, vegetarian. There's tons of stuff you're gonna like replace. If you're not eating all the meats, then you're eating more nuts and things like that. You're still having cheese. Really, the only thing is the meat. So it's not going to be quite the same variety as you would get if you're eating meat, but you can definitely do it. Mention post. Okay, so I got through that. Didn't write those. Yes, who did? Since I'm pregnant, I know fasting is good. I should still eat 20 carbs a day or a little more. I'm starting to take a bit of weight lost. I can't see your whole post here. Well, definitely, yeah. Start out with keto. You can honestly fast too, but start out with keto and you're totally fine. You can, go up to your 20. You can start out the same way I have the plan written out. So just do keto straight through. You'll completely stop your own body weight from gaining during pregnancy. You'll lose some more of it. Baby will be totally fine. Pink salt, Himalayan salt, carb manager on iPhone app. Yeah, definitely. Like, until you get used to food, definitely, look at the apps. The apps will also help you when you're out and you're trying to get something to eat and you don't know the carbs in them, like at a restaurant. If you go to a fast food place, you can eat there. You can take the bun and ketchup and all that off. But the apps are really good with keto now. There's like, if you go to McDonald's and you pull up MyFitnessPal and you type in like keto, it'll tell you exactly what to order. So definitely, as you're doing this, this is a diet that's so like strict when it comes to the carbs. You really have to start learning what you eat and what you don't eat. Hidden carbs, stuff like that. I'll teach a lot of this stuff as we go. I know some people already know keto, but a lot of people here don't know it at all. So I'll definitely keep teaching how to do it. My sister will be able to help a lot of people too when it comes to actually making meals and stuff. Let's see. Powerade Zero. Powerade Zero is okay for like a drink. Just uses a standard like fake sugar like Diet Pop would. If they're 12 hours into a fast, then do a coffee with heavy cream. Okay, so somebody asked me this yesterday. And I've done fasting so many different ways too when I'm doing intermediate fasting. So there's so many ways to incorporate a type of fast that even involves food. So if you're not eating anything, you're fasting. But fat fasting is another one that you can do that basically will pause the fast. Instead of kicking it all the way back to the beginning again, it'll just pause it. If you're eating a pure fat source, as soon as your body burns it up, it goes right back to where it was, burning body fat. So there's a lot of times where I'll just have like a coffee in the morning, and I'll still use like I'll put my MCT oil in there, which I have here. Jay, keep an eye on those. I have a fireplace over here and everything's getting really hot. Anyway, so I get these huge bottles because I do this stuff every single day. When you're intermediate fasting in the beginning, if you use this in the morning, just to be able to get to your fasting, this will help you. Put this in coffee or some kind of a drink, and MCT oil has no response, so even though it's calories, it's going to act the same way. If anybody's learned about fiber and how fiber and carbs kind of where you can subtract them, it's because the body doesn't digest it. Same thing with MCT oil. It's not going to digest it. It's like coconut oil. These are like these packs I found. I don't have a bottle right now, but these are like individual packs. So coconut oil, I always get organic, pure, unrefined, and MCT oil is basically it's coconut oil, but it's not the whole thing. It's broke down. They take out what you can put in your body and still fast and not have any calorie response with it. So buy this stuff at, again, any Walmart, any GNC, probably at like drugstores and stuff. And if you're having problems with fasting throughout the day, use this in the morning. It'll make you full. You won't be hungry after about 5 minutes of just this. And it'll also give you extra ketones, and it will give you extra energy. And now I got oil on my hands. Jay, will you grab me a napkin? So another thing at night, raw organic apple cider vinegar, the ones that say with the mother on them. I do this stuff at night. I've been doing this for like 3 years. If you eat your dinner or your meal and you're still awake hours later and you're getting really hungry, I always do like a tablespoon of this in like some warm water, and it's disgusting, yes, even after 3 years it is, but if you take a shot of this and 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, your hunger's gone, and this has got a million benefits to it. Like, I will always do this. I always wake up. I'm never bloated. It helps. It helps with like a million things. I'm sure people know about apple cider vinegar, but you can read about it. I believe almost everything they say about it. And so that's kind of all the things I have to show. But so the goal is to get into ketosis, monitor with the sticks, and make sure that if you're brand new to this or you're not in ketosis, just eat whatever you can find that's zero carb foods like meat, cheese, eggs, cooking oils and real butters and stuff. You'll be in ketosis super easy. You'll avoid any of the flus or any of the side effects while you're doing it. Don't even worry about when you eat or how much you eat. Just do that for a couple of days, and once you're in ketosis, then start putting your plan together. And honestly, everybody in here, I mean, this is a challenge, so I'm sure like you want to push yourself really hard. That's what I want everyone to do. That's what I'm doing, and that's why I want everyone to learn about fasting and just start practicing. Like, the minimum that I require in the plan is to do the 16-8. So always, every day, don't eat during the 16 hours, and unless it's a pure fat source. So like, if you add in something, a heavy whipping cream or an MCT oil or something to your coffee, say it's 100 calories of fat, there's no protein, there's no carb in it, it will allow you to burn that. It'll take over and burn that, and then you'll go right back into body fat. It's not like the weight that it normally takes when you eat like a whole meal that's got protein and everything else in it. So if you need that in the beginning, do that until you can just, the longer you fast and the more you fast, the easier and easier it gets. People that are thinking about how do you fast for a long time, the thing is here's how it is for me. Like, I went into a fast straight from carbs. I've gone into a fast from keto, and I've done a fast up to 10 days. So if you're doing it right after eating carbs, you're going to experience extreme hunger and discomfort, and you're going to be crabby and everything. So don't even do that. But now when you do it in ketosis, the way it is for me is day one. It's kind of like, if you're used to intermediate fasting, it's kind of like the same thing, except for you just don't eat that meal by the nighttime. And you might, it might be on your mind a little bit, so you might struggle a little bit, but then you get into like day two, you'll wake up feeling the same way you did on day one, even though you didn't have a meal. And day two, you might, if anything, you're not going to be hungry. Your body's not hungry. It's eating all your body fat. You might mentally think like, it's new to you. It's like you haven't done it before, so now you're on 2 days of not eating. Anything you're feeling, it's all like mental. Like, you are really not hungry, and by day 3, you will totally understand that, and you'll accept that, and it's almost like you get there and you realize that you can do it, and that's when it gets really easy. That's when you start getting healing effects of autophagy. And from then on, from day 4, day 5, day 6, I mean, it just gets easier and easier. You lose weight at the highest potential. You're doing so many good things for your body. So anybody that wants to fast, there's nothing scary about it. It's just awesome. I want to do it like all the time. And for me to break my fast, it's like I would go longer. The reason I don't is because I know when you're breaking your fast, you want to take, however long you didn't eat. If it was 5 days, you want to spend like the next 2 or 3 days kind of eating slowly, and you don't just jump right back into the food. If you're doing a 2 to 3 day fast, it's fine, but anything over like 5, 6, 7 days, you gotta like kind of start out slow and start with like liquids and then go into it, just because you want to train yourself. Because for example, anybody that has, like I was always I still am like a big eater, and if I get every day eating a lot of food all the time, even in keto, then I get to the point where I just want that every day. And when you're fasting for a long time, you completely break that, and it's like you reboot yourself. So when you do start eating, it's really easy to just do what you want to do in the first couple of days, and what you want it to be like, and then your brain trains that, and then all of a sudden you find yourself not having that huge appetite anymore. So there's so many benefits to fasting. I could talk about it forever, but I just want you guys to like really try it. I mean, definitely get to the intermediate fast, and then whenever you feel like it, just go through the whole day. Just get to the next day, and then maybe eat your meal, and that way you're almost doing a 48. And after you do that, then do a 72, and by that point, you're just going to completely understand how it works, why you're not hungry. I mean, and you'll want to do it a lot more. So when you have a lot of weight to lose, it's going to get it off faster than anything. That's what I believe is like such an important thing in weight loss, is to go fast. Like, you don't want to be, I mean, you're making that decision to get healthy, to lose the weight. You don't want it to drag out forever. It's the reason why everybody like messes it up, and then forgets about what they want, and then they go back to eating crap and gaining it back. It's just do it fast. I did it. I went from 300 pounds to 150 pounds in under 6 months, and I was motivated the whole time. I weighed myself every single day. I was tracking everything. I knew, I was learning as I went. I knew that the smaller I got, that the less my body can burn, because I'm not as big. I don't require that many calories, so I knew that I could just keep the speed up by doing more cardio and more workouts, and that's what I did. And I hit all the goals faster than I ever imagined, and I couldn't believe that over a winter that I had lost all my weight. And before that, I was never successful in losing even 20 pounds ever in my life. So it's the easiest thing, and I just kept learning for the last 3 years, and I've tried other diets. I've gained a little bit of weight. I've tried going back to like a low-fat diet and everything, and it's horrible things happen. I had my body built up pretty good, and then I purposely tried cutting on a low-fat diet, eating carbs, and the only thing I lost was muscle, and I lost like 6 months worth of muscle in like a month doing that. I've tried doing like a low-carb diet where you're not in ketosis, and then you just have no energy at all. For people that don't understand what's happening when you go into ketosis, is that with the food that we all eat every day, when we're not trying to be good and do this, it's like you're gonna have so many carbs in your body, no matter what you eat, that's your energy, and then it just stores as fat, and then you never really get to use fat energy at all. Like, everything you're eating, it's just the carbs are becoming the energy, and then it's storing at some point. When you go low carb, you are still running on carbs, and then you're almost empty. So you'll lose weight almost just as fast as doing it that way without being in keto, but you're not going to have any energy. That's why you have to get into keto. When you cross over that and you get under 20 and you put your body in ketosis, now you're running on pure fat. So your body fat and the fat that you eat is your energy source, and carbs don't matter anymore. So I knew what that diet was going to do, but I tried it anyway. And then this last weight gain that I did, I got to the point where when I started thinking about, as I was helping people, so when I lost my weight, I was in groups on Facebook. Keto was brand new. Nobody really did it. I got so much crap for it everywhere outside of that, and that was like my only source to go to have other people that were doing it, and I wasn't getting, all the negative stuff. So, but in there, just working really hard and showing the pictures and the accountability pictures and the updates and talking to other people and everything and just doing it together, it was so motivating that, and like I couldn't stop myself, but just to get to my goal, I knew what I wanted, and there was so many like people around within the groups. So as I'm after I lost all my weight and I'm maintaining it for a couple of years and I'm helping everybody as I'm learning more and more, it's like I'm not like doing it with you guys, so it's like I'm just kind of trying to maintain, but it's like I know what it's like to just have this group feeling and having other people around to talk to and to watch and to post your pictures and all that. So when I gained the weight, I kind of just wanted to put some weight on so I could do this and start out with a challenge and get into a group and just do it with you guys. And it's like right away I remembered what it was like. And so when I worked one-on-one with people, I never really told them to get into like a group or something like that, and they would, everybody would want to talk to me one-on-one, and that's all they had was me, and then people were like falling off plan and stuff, and it makes so much more sense to just get everybody together and just do the same thing. And I probably couldn't have done what I did if I didn't have that during my main weight loss. So I'm going to see if there's some more questions on here. Any other good drinks while fasting? I've read a lot about this, and if you want like autophagy stuff, then you really stick to water, and that's it. But if you're just looking at the weight loss and keeping yourself in the fast and all that, you can have 0-calorie drinks. So, anything that you see is just diet pop, diet energy drinks, your coffee with stevia, Powerades, whatever. The problem with you have to be careful of anything that's like minimal calories. You find a drink that's got like 10 calories in it, that's not going to work during your fast. And even things like gum, like a lot of people probably chew gum during their fast, and that's actually messing it up too. And you could chew gum, and you could do what I do, because I have to chew gum all the time. So what I do is I just get sugar-free gum, and I'll start chewing on it, and I won't swallow any of it, like anything that's in your mouth that you get in the beginning, and I'll just spit it all out for the first like minute, and then I'll just chew it as long as I can. And if you can do stuff like that, you can chew gum, because then you're not getting nothing out of it. So but otherwise, yeah, like while you're fasting, keep it to like 0-calorie everything, coffee, water, diet drinks, stuff like that. How about Body Armor drinks? I'm not sure if they are 0. I know what they are, but I haven't used them during fasting. Can you drink Diet Pop? Yes. All right, so like I said, I was not planning for this. I just like to just go when I'm talking, and this is the first time I've done a live. So if anybody wants to ask me questions right now, I'll try to answer them. I can see everything coming in now. I don't know if there's a delay or not, but if anybody's got any questions, just ask me, and I'll stay on for about another 5 minutes. It's actually really hot in here. I have the fireplace going. This room isn't controlled by the normal heat, so it's either ice cold or I turn the fireplace on and it's boiling hot. On an eating day, what about Quest powder? Okay, definitely for anybody that's looking for extra protein in your meals, or just for the day and you're working out and stuff like that. Quest protein powders are fine. Any like isolated protein powder is going to be totally fine. Most of those are never filled up with anything as far as like them sugar, alcohols, and all that. So you're totally fine with that. Just in general, anything protein related If it's got sugar, alcohols in it, stay away from it. It's just going to knock you out of ketosis. It'll say 4 carbs or 3 carbs, but it's not. Unless it's like stevia or it's a fiber type deal, like anything that's a sugar, alcohol in it, don't even touch it. No bars, shakes, anything like that. It'll knock you out of keto. When it comes to protein, especially in ketosis, you don't need a ton of it. You really need about half your body weight. If you're tracking calories and tracking macros, then if you weigh 300 pounds, 150 grams a day for protein. Your carbs for everybody just go under 20, period. And the fat, there's no like goal to that. Like you go as low as you can, all the way up to maintenance. So I mean, if you're not losing any weight, you are at your maintenance calories. That means you need to cut the calories down and just cut the fat down. Let your body fat take over. If it's or do your fasting, get your intermittent fasting window closed tighter and get closer to one meal and start long fasting. I mean, anybody, it doesn't matter if you're immobile or you are, every day you're working out and running. I mean, anybody can lose weight extremely fast, especially with the fact that you can go down to eating nothing, and it's simple. And you just, the whole point is getting the weight off and getting to your goal. And a lot of people will say, like it's got to be sustainable and everything. There's nothing sustainable about losing your weight. Like no matter how you do it, you're sacrificing and you're losing weight. No matter, it's not something that you just keep doing. You have to get your weight off. You're always going to have to be in a calorie deficit, and then you have another whole new thing to learn when you get to your goal, is to learn how do you eat and how do you stay at your goal. And that has nothing to do with how you dieted. I mean, so it doesn't matter if you fasted the whole time and now you get your weight and now you start learning how to eat and find your calorie range and just keep your weight off that way, or if you lost it slow or you lost it with straight keto. I mean, you got two different things going. You're losing your weight and you get to decide on that speed, and then when you get to your goal, then you have a maintenance, and that's a whole new thing. So one more liquid question. Can I drink coffee? Yes, you can drink coffee. Tim, on an eating day, quest powder. Okay, Jeff, there are not they're not 0 cal and have sugar in them. I wouldn't recommend drinking them. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Jeff, but I'm sure you're relating to something that he probably already knows. My sister just came in here. I'm going to turn the camera a little bit so you can see her.
Hi, everyone. How's it going? Everybody doing good so far? I've been reading a lot of the posts. Good to see you guys following the program.
It's fine. It does it automatically. This is my sister. She's got a YouTube channel. I'm going to let her maybe talk a few minutes, and if there's any other questions, she'll be able to answer too.
Yeah, so glad to see a lot of you coming in here and joining in on this 30-day challenge. Congratulations to all of you. Great photos all of you guys are adding. My photos that I had put in were to show during the time that I had done keto. I've been doing it now for over 3 years. First 15 months, I lost all my weight. I lost almost 150 pounds, and I was left with some skin. Doing keto is one way of life that you're not going to have as much skin. I was not able to work out or anything because I have a back condition from a car accident. Now I can work out because I've lost a lot of weight and I'm a lot healthier now. I also have a heart condition though. I was left with some skin. So my challenge was to try to get into a little bit more fasting. I do 24-hour, 25, 26-hour fasting right now, but I want to try to do a 2-day and then a 3-day and try to eliminate the skin. I do have photos up there to show you guys what I was left with, which wasn't as much as I thought because I've seen people that have lost less and have more. So keto is a really great way to go. But I'm just so proud of all of you guys and want you guys to just keep doing it. Remember why you're doing it. My motto is always, nothing tastes better than being thin feels. That's how I look at it. And I look at it that we eat to live, not live to eat anymore. And I have completely changed my brain over to that. I was definitely a food addict myself because I weighed almost 300 pounds and I'm only 5'4". So you guys would see that in my photos. But yeah, just get that in your brain. And once you get that in there, you're just going to keep going. And the longer you go without having cheat days is the most important. My biggest thing was I did not cheat until after I had lost all the weight and went into maintenance for quite a while, about 4 or 5 months. And then I had my first cheat day. And even then it can mess with you. But just be strong. Like I said, I have a keto channel. My brother was mentioning to you guys a YouTube channel. It's called Keep It Keto. It is in my pictures. If you go to my photos on his 30-day challenge, you'll see it in there. I have a YouTube channel called Keep It Keto, and I do food mukbangs showing you different recipes. I do live keto on Thursdays. It changes from 1 o'clock one week, and the next week would be 6 o'clock. I do live answering questions like we do here. So, you know, if you guys have any questions and you want to come in and watch that, that will be, you know, easier because, like, we're getting ready to sign off here. But, yeah, that's what I just try to tell people is we were food addicts for so long, depending on how old you are, how long you were overweight. You know, it's just, we got to stop all that now, and we need to remember that we need to be healthy for our families. We lost our dad very young. He was only 48, almost 49 when he died, but we were so young when he passed, and I want to be here for my kids, my family. So that's why we do it. You know, it shouldn't be about the food anymore. And try to get your kids on board, too. It's very important to have your kids and your family following with you because it makes it easier. You know, even if you can just give them different meals and show them different things. You know, they can eat keto. It's very healthy for them. Just try to give them healthier choices. Even if you're going to just go lower carb, give them fruits and veggies. Make them a natural peanut butter. Get a natural peanut butter sandwich and add raisins as a smiley face. Just make it fun for them, too, and teach them so that they don't have to go through what we went through in our lifetime because we live in a world of obesity, and it's really bad right now. We all know that. Lots of health conditions. I was pre-diabetic. I had high cholesterol, high triglycerides, high blood pressure. You name it, I had it. And my blood work now is all amazing after all these years. It continues to get better. And yeah, I love the way I eat. I love the way I live, and I'll never change. I'm just really proud of myself. But now my deal is in this challenge is to try to get rid of some of the skin. So I'm trying to do some more fasting with you guys. Did anybody tips for coming out of fasting?
If you're so if you're just like daily fasting, you just pretty much eat your meal, whatever you have set up. If you're longer fasting and you're doing like 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, then you just start out with something really simple like, I mean, if you're going really long, you can like start out with a broth or something. And then a few hours later, you eat a couple of eggs or some just like grilled chicken or something like that. But if you're just fasting like 3 and 4 days, 2 days, you pretty much can just eat your meal. But maybe beyond 5 days, just start it out slow. So like a 5 to 7 day fast, just start out with some eggs or something like that, and it's pretty easy. It's just kind of don't. The longer you fast, the more you don't want to just jump into a big meal. So you just start out smaller with it, and then work your way into it. But daily fasting, just eat your meal. I mean, if you get down to 1 meal a day, and you're fasting the rest of the day, you can have a pretty big meal. So you fill yourself up. I mean, that's why I like 1 meal a day keto. I think it's the easiest thing in the world. You'll still lose weight really fast, and that's basically just, putting together a high calorie, high fat, moderate protein, low carb meal. Is a big meal that's bigger than any meal you'd ever eat in the past. Put that into one meal, or your dinner, and then you get full, you get tired, you fall asleep, you wake up, you're fasting, you feel great, you go to work, you do whatever you do, and you won't even think about food being in keto, and you come back home and have that one meal again. I mean, if you do that, you don't even feel like you're doing any kind of routine. You just lose weight and can't help it because it's one meal. So, but yeah, any other questions on here? I know a lot of you were here and were gone, or not here anymore, but anyway, I don't see any more. So like I said, this was the first video I did. I was going to do it yesterday, and I decided just to get on here, but I'm going to start coming up with more topics and things to talk about as I do more of these live videos. So, Jeff, is deli meat horribly bad? So basically, deli meat works on keto, unless it's got it's sweetened or something like that. But when you're talking like deli meat stuff, you get some of the processed foods again. They just work a little differently in your body, and of course, there's other things to think about with processed food. But again, deli, like your roast beef and your chicken and turkey and all, those are actually, they're barely processed, so that's fine. It's like the salamis and pepperoni and stuff like that. That's highly processed with multiple meats and things in it. So I don't eat none of that stuff really. I just stick to like roast beef and turkey and chicken and ham and just kind of like those meats. the deli meats are high in sodium, but sodium is pretty much okay in keto. I mean, you're not going to ever go too high. It's not the greatest salt, but you'll be fine with that. So, okay, what do you think of supplements? I used to do a ton of supplements. I'm not currently doing any. When I did the weight gain part, I kind of stopped everything. As far as supplements, I'm going to get back into them again. Fish oil or krill oil is my favorite. It's more expensive, but that's good to take every day.
I do fish oil and a multivitamin.
Yeah, multivitamin is totally fine. You can do those when you're fasting too. And then really, once you just, it's kind of about learning your own body. I know my body so well that if I feel a little bit off, I know exactly what it is. I know if I need potassium, if I need magnesium, if I need sodium, if I need another vitamin or whatever, if I need some B vitamins for energy. Like, I just know my body so well that I pretty much keep a lot of vitamins and I just take what I need daily. But I would start out with a daily vitamin and then fish oil or krill oil and take that. And
the MCT oil.
Oh, MCT oil. I mean, I guess you call it a supplement. It'll help you stay in ketosis, and it'll help you definitely cut your appetite all day long. Like,
plus, new beginners, it cleans them out too. It definitely will clean you out of all your toxins. I think so, because it definitely did that to me.
You're welcome, Jason and everybody. So, I mean, there's so much to talk about, so many topics and everything, but really it's just everybody's getting going with this challenge, and once we get into week 2, then we can get a little more creative with the food and stuff like that. A ton of people are asking me about it. I just didn't want anybody to really care about the food. Just eat the lowest carb food and get in keto and get that fasting routine down. And once you're set up, then you can start getting a little more into the recipes and the food. So anyway, thanks everybody for joining me. And if you didn't watch it live, but you watch it later, I apologize that I wasn't prepared for this whole thing. It's really hot in here, like 100-some degrees, and I'm tired. I didn't sleep last night, so but I'll do this at least once a week, and I'll hit some really good topics as we go. So everybody stick to the plan and stay in keto and get that weight off you.